The Xianzhou Alliance has a lot of conflict and strife in their history, but conflict also creates opportunities for heroes to arise. Some of the most prominent heroes were part of the High Cloud Quintet. They were an elite squad of the best warriors of the Xianzhou Alliance, who came together to solve various conflicts. The story of the High Cloud Quintet still has a lot of missing pieces, so this story will be separated into things that we know for sure and the things that we don't know or have to speculate about. As for the things we know for sure, the quintet was created by Jingliu, the former swordmaster of the Xianzhou Lufu. She recruited 4 others into her group: Dan Feng, the Vidyadhara High Elder, Bai Heng, a Foxian, Yingxing, a mortal human swordsmith, and lastly, Jingyuan, a long-life human like Jingliu herself. The High Cloud Quintet had a number of great accomplishments to their name, such as defeating the wolf-like denizens of abundance, called the Borisin, and destroying the alliance between the Hunims, a centaur-like species, and the Wingweavers, a bird-like species, which both served the abundance. They even defeated an entire living planet, called Ketu Mirage. However, the High Cloud Quintet group didn't last long. After only 100 years, the group fell apart when Dan Feng committed a crime against the Xianzhou, somehow making Yingxing immortal in the process. As punishment for the crime, Dan Feng was forced to reincarnate into his next body, Dan Heng. And after that, Dan Heng and Yingxing were both banished from the Xianzhou. After his banishment, Yingxing encountered Jingliu again. She taught him her swordsmanship while killing him over and over again. Sometime either before or after this happened, Yingxing started calling himself Blade. Meanwhile, Dan Heng, after being chased by Blade for a time, was discovered by the Astral Express, and Himiko and Welt took him under their wing. Blade, on the other hand, was found and recruited by the Stellaron Hunters. Jingliu herself eventually succumbed to Mara and went on a rampage aboard the Lufu until she managed to escape, before she was eventually tracked down by Jingyuan and defeated. Bai Heng's fate was unknown, but since Foxians cannot live forever, she has most likely died of old age. If, of course, there was no interference like what happened to Yingxing. It would also make sense if Bai Heng is dead, because we saw Dan Heng pouring a drink on the ground, something that is done to honor the dead. Since the others of the High Cloud Quintet are still very much alive, this seems to be the most reasonable outcome. This story has almost enough information to solve the puzzle and complete the entire storyline. However, the timing of things that happened seems off. Not to mention some of the things that are just straight up missing. So, here are a few things we don't know for sure or we have to speculate about. First of all, Dan Feng's sin. What exactly did Dan Feng do? It seems most likely that Dan Feng somehow infused Blade with either an elixir of the abundance or some sort of Vidyadhara power, which would honestly explain much about Blade's eyes. Then there's still the question, why did Jingliu kill Blade over and over again? There is a chance that Jingliu was already suffering from Mara, and because of the madness, started to kill him. It could also be that Blade just wanted to die, and she tried to assist him. She might also just be evil, and once she noticed that Blade couldn't die, she just decided that she would teach him swordsmanship by making him die if he made a mistake. Then, lastly, Blade might also have been suffering from Mara, and by killing him, and thereby forcing him to lose his memories that way, she wanted to delay him becoming Mara-struck. Now, there are 2 more questions left. Number 1. How did Jingliu not physically transform into a Mara-struck monster, but kept her original body? Could Dan Feng have something to do with this as well? And secondly, Jingliu used to wield a sword called the Shard Sword. This sword was originally forged by Yingxing, just like all of the other weapons of the High Cloud Quintet, such as Dan Heng's Cloudpiercer Spear, Bai Heng's Recurve Bow, and Jingyuan's Devastator Glaive. During Blade's training, he was killed over and over again by that very same sword, and it eventually broke. That is why the blade now actually is made out of shards. However, we did see Blade wielding the sword, so how did he obtain this sword? Did Jingliu just give it to him? In Blade's last character story, he mentions that he can no longer create weapons because his hands aren't dexterous enough anymore. So I think the reason why Blade's sword is still functional is because he repairs the sword with his own immortal blood That would also explain why, when he uses his skill in-game, it costs him health to make the sword stronger, and then gains access to more powerful attacks. I wonder if in 1.3 or 1.4 we get to know the entire story of the High Cloud Quintet in its entirety. It just feels like there is so much more to know about them. Anyways, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.